Welcome to Play On, our kind of semi-regular vlog kind of update, almost like a podcast, but video related.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, where we talk about the things that we're excited about. We talk about our channel, we talk about the things we're doing, and we get to introduce you to who we are, the behind-the-scenes people, not necessarily the people playing the games.
We're 6 guys, all multi-talented, all multi-purpose, I guess, is one way to put it. Nick here does a lot of our editing. He's our director of photography. He's been coaching 2 guys to be camera operators, which has gone really well. They've come a long way.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm producer.
Yeah, you give us a lot of leadership. He's the one that got us all together and said, come here, I got a great proposal. I want to start an amazing Battle Report channel. Normally it's JT here, for those of you who are wondering. I just want you not to worry. JT's fine. He couldn't make it tonight. So me and Taki are filling in. If you're watching this, obviously you probably have seen our recent releases. We just finished up our season 1. And we're really excited about that. So we wanted to release this video to kind of give an update for a lot of people that are asking questions. Okay, what's kind of coming next? What's going on? We're recording at the Garage Games and Geekeries, and there's games happening behind us. So that's why you hear some of the audio happening in the background. But we like to put these out somewhere regularly just to give you guys updates and what's going on and stuff like that. And we also, preface this time, we asked you to give us your questions. We're having an AMA, Ask Me Anything, and we got a bunch of awesome questions that are excited
We did, yeah.
Excited to answer. But first, I really wanted Tak to talk a little bit about why we started this channel, because his inspiration, his reasoning for it is pretty awesome.
Really what it came down to was kind of looking at the landscape of battle reports and the way that 40K is covered or tabletop games is covered, and seeing that something was missing. I think that was really what we came together to fill a void. We also wanted to do battle reports that ultimately inspired people to play. That was really the ultimate goal that we came together to do. And so the foremost thing that we wanted was to make sure that they were entertaining.
Yeah.
Not entertaining just to a regular 40K or battle report watching crowd, but to anyone. And so one of the most amazing things that's happened this season is we've got a lot of comments from people that have never played the game, that have wanted to get into the game just because of what they saw we do. So that was really cool.
It is so cool to see those comments. I've actually got some friends, it's a family that don't play the game or know anything about it, that watch, and they find it entertaining, and that's amazing. And every time we see one of those comments on YouTube, and we read every single comment, believe me.
We do.
It's one of the first things I do in the morning is go, oh, look at these amazing comments.
And we're getting people from all over the world that don't have a game store nearby, never encountered the game before, kind of just happened upon us by accident. And all of a sudden they're looking for a way to play in South Africa to Thailand, Singapore, all over the place. It's been phenomenal.
Our first Patreon draw went to a guy in Malaysia?
Malaysia, yeah.
Malaysia. What's his name? Do you remember his name?
Li Wei Shen.
Li Wei Shen. Yeah. You're watching Li Wei Shen. Hello. One of our first super fans.
Yeah, I know that one of our recent draws, and I can't remember the name, you're gonna have to forgive me, it's going to Australia.
Australia. Yeah. That's going to be expensive. But just so you guys know, one of the ways we support what we're doing, or trying to support what we're doing, is through Patreon. So if you guys like what we do, please consider supporting us.
Season 2 or kind of next year, 2020, we'll make a much more concerted effort on Patreon. Recognizing that we have received a lot of love from Patreon, and we want to love in return.
We do. Like, to be honest, season 1 was a little bit of a whirlwind. We started this just a bit more than 6 months ago. Like, it hasn't been that long. Just like, okay, is this gonna work? And we just kind of threw it together. We did a couple of trial runs and stuff like that. And it's been amazing seeing the response and where we've got to.
100%. So, you know, a lot of people look at our format and go, how long did you plan it out? Before kind of releasing anything, producing anything? We had this grand idea that we would do 2, and edit 2 and kind of learn off those 2 before we did anything or release anything. But all of a sudden we got this great opportunity with the West Coast GT, which is an ITC tournament. They allowed us to shoot their top table. So all of a sudden we went from prototyping and planning to we had to do it.
And we had to release it within a week or it wouldn't be relevant anyway. So we were like, all of a sudden, deadline. Everything we're figuring out from the ground up, including Patreon, which is one of the reasons we're excited that we have this time between season 1 and season 2 where we can finally do some planning. So if you have thoughts of where we should go, we'd love to hear it in the comments below. Please tell us what you'd like to see from us or what you think we should be doing better. We're looking for where we should go next, and we're planning that right now.
You know, a little bit of a spoiler, we're not gonna just do 40K in season 2, at least that's the hope. We are looking to branch out, do a few more things, whatever is within our capacity.
Yeah, like so obviously one of the things that is challenging for us is resources. There's 6 of us, yes, that seems like a big team, but all of us have other full-time jobs and commitments, and all of us are doing this in our spare time as a passion project. None of us are currently getting paid for this.
No, this is self-funded. We were lucky enough to engage the Garage Games and Geekery in Maple Ridge, BC, Canada, in having or letting us build a studio in the back of their store. So we have a permanent space that has lights affixed to lighting grid, something for an overhead camera to do our reports. And a lot of people ask a lot about how we produce our 40K, or how we kind of reach this quality. And it really comes down to, I think, we were lucky enough to have a lot of gear. Nick himself is a videographer for what, 15, 16 years now?
Oh man, so 16. Everyone bought their first car. I bought my first camera.
And same, I've got a background in photography, and I've been a creative director for 17 plus years as well. So we had a bit of a head start. So a lot of people looking at our quality and going, wow, you guys came out of nowhere. It really is, we've got some veterans on the team that allowed us to get a bit of a head start in terms of reaching this quality level. And we sat down, we figured out what gear we had, what our skill set was, and everyone kind of jumped on, came on board, gave what they could, and so 40K in 30M, soon to be 40M, was produced.
Okay, so you're here to hear it first. Officially, next season, no longer 40K in 30M, you're gonna have to search for 40K in 40M.
And I get it, guys, 40K and 40M just has a better ring to it.
It does.
I'm personally superstitious, and I avoid fours. I try to avoid fours, and so I was just trying to avoid as many fours as possible, but that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, but honestly, 40 minutes ends up when, like, me and Tak do the lion's share of the editing currently, and 40 minutes actually ends up being a pretty natural breaking point for a game.
Yeah.
Which actually segues really nicely into one of the first questions we're answered on our AMA. It was a question from Facebook from Zachary Nelson, who...
Hey Zach, how's it going?
who was asking about, I'm curious how condensed each episode is and how much time on set does it take to film an episode, not counting production work, just the video capture of the game. So, and there were some follow-up questions from other people asking about how long it takes in general to do everything.
He said that he was scared to ask. It is a pretty scary answer. We are here quite long. So we film and try to let our players just play the game. So we let them kind of naturally play 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 if there's a few interruptions.
Yeah. We do end up having to often cut them off because there is some other things around the production of it. Like, for instance, we do cut them after deployment, and we take a bunch of shots of the deployment. And sometimes in between turns, we'll stay, pause, take a break, and we'll go take some shots of it if something epic happened.
We do feed our players as well, so we take a bit of a dinner break. We do shoot all of our battle reports predominantly at night.
In the evening, yeah. So we want to make sure we're not going too late. And so sometimes we say, hey guys, this game's going great, but you need to wrap it up next turn.
So yeah, again, typically we're filming a game, 1,500 points, typically 2 hours, 2,000 points. Will take a bit longer.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that we spend a lot of time shooting what we call cinematics. So we'll set up another table, and we'll start to really dig into what you guys seem to like, which is these very narrative shots.
Yeah, they're my fun. They're my favorite to do. I really like the new smoke machine we got to be able to do that. And I don't know if you've noticed some of the background effects we've been able to do with some of the fire flickering effects. I bought some special LED light bulbs that flicker fire in the back.
Which is actually another question that we did get, which is, how do we get that fog effect?
Yeah.
And it's water-based. So be careful. While it makes for beautiful, dense, low-sitting fog, it gets everything wet.
Yeah, it did. Rupert gave us a little bit of a stink eye when he picked up his models at the end of the cinematics and there was water dripping off of it. And it was like,
So varnish your models first before you bring them to play on, and we can guarantee that we're not going to strip your paint off.
Yes. But to answer that first question, roughly from players and crew arriving to we're going home is roughly about 5 hours to film and play the game. So going into production, depends on who's editing it. But we've gotten it down to a bit of a science. I can mostly edit it between 25 and 30 hours for one video, for a 40K and 30.
And again, Nick is a veteran of editing, so you've been doing it for a really long time,
Yeah.
so you're able to kind of get those speeds. I haven't edited, or the last time I edited a video before coming back to PlayOn or coming to PlayOn was probably back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, you hit the ground running hard.
I did. So my first edit was probably 60 hours. Then I cut it down to 50. I was pretty proud of that. And then, I've kind of lingered around 40 to 45 hours per edit.
Yeah. The Apocalypse game, that one, oh man, that was about 80, 90 hours. That was a big one. That actually leads me perfectly into one of the other AMA questions. Was someone was really desperately wanting us to do more Apocalypse games, and yes, we do want to do more Apocalypse games. And I think I'm going to push hard for us to do at least one next season.
Oh, I absolutely love the Apocalypse system.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's fun to
It's
bring kind of
cool.
the big titans.
Yeah.
We will be more conservative with our power level this
Yeah,
time.
we went a little crazy. It was cool and awesome to see.
And to be honest, we misread it. So that was something that we did on our part. We completely misread it. It said 1100 power level equals this much hours.
No, it said 600 power level equals this
No,
much hour.
there was. I think there was a higher one, wasn't there?
It said 600 power level. It was the biggest one that they suggested, but they were saying that 600 total
Combined.
and we thought
Yeah.
that meant 600 per side.
Side.
So we did double the biggest one that they suggested doing.
And you wonder why we only got to turn 2.
Yeah, well, we actually filmed the entire day on that one.
We did.
Yeah, there was some 10 hours of footage for me to edit through.
So
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
it was.
Okay, dreaming, spitballing. What 2 armies would you like to do when we do an Apocalypse?
Oh man. I don't.
I know personally what I'd like to see.
Well, Tau.
I would like to see an Apocalypse level Tau force versus an Imperial Guard force and reenact maybe something from the supplement.
I
books
would go
came
with
out.
that.
I've got an Orca, I've got Tiger Sharks, I've got a whole bunch of
This is the guy that brought an orca to a charity tournament.
1,000-point tournament.
Yep.
And an Orca is almost 500 points. A 500-point bus with barely any guns. I won no games.
And that's another thing I really love about the crew that we have is we focus on fun.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of competitive players in our group.
Yeah.
A lot of us do compete on the ITC circuit.
Yeah.
And some of,
Side note, ITC, for some of those who don't know what ITC is, because we have some European fans as well and from elsewhere, ITC is International Tournament Circuit. Frontline Gaming.
yeah,
Frontline Gaming puts it on. In fact, check out our Facebook and like there for more information coming up soon about that. But Frontline Gaming is a company that puts on ranked tournaments where you put your information in an app and you get points based on how many points you get during different tournaments and it adds up to the end of the year. Correct?
Correct. It's like a league.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's like a league. The more tournaments you go, the more you're possibly able to raise your rank and score. Going to different types of tournaments,
Yeah.
different amount of people at tournaments, that always kind of impacts your score as well. And ultimately, I think I really enjoy the format. It's a very balanced tournament style.
Yeah.
So again, we've got quite a few players on our channel that have either participated in or compete regularly.
JT,
Yep.
yourself,
Yes.
myself for the first time, Steven,
Yep.
I think that's it, right?
From PlayOn, yeah.
For PlayOn are all going to be at Las Vegas Open in January. I'm really looking forward to it. If you are going to be at Las Vegas Open, please come say hi. We would love to meet you. and
Please,
talk to you.
please come say hi and help me show this guy Vegas for the first time.
I've never been there. Yeah, I'm bringing Tau. Of
course.
But I'm not bringing Triptides. Not bringing Triptides.
I've never seen this guy play Triptide.
I never will. Never will. I'll probably be bringing some sort of variant of the list you guys saw a couple episodes back, the really hyper-aggressive Tau list. In fact, after this, if we have time, me and Tack are going to play a game, a rematch to see if I can finally beat him, because he's beaten me every game for the past.
So you may remember that Nick said in his interview sequence on our battle report that I'd never beaten him.
And that was then.
That was then.
This is
and I'll be bringing my Ultramarines to LVO. Really looking forward to it. I'm having a good run with my Ultramarines currently. Funny side note, me and Stephen Wilhite, also of PlayOn, are competing for #1 in Canada right now.
That's right. You guys doing really well in ITC.
Yeah.
Question comes from YouTube. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but Sengeli Titan. Have you guys thought of doing a narrative campaign where each player has a unique warlord, each game more points are added, slowly increasing the size of the armies over time as they get reinforcements? Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be
That's
pretty
a
cool.
really cool idea.
Yeah.
So basically, an escalation campaign. One thing personally I'd like to see in our next season is have there be more linked stuff and more stuff that leads up to a season finale. So there's more connectivity. There was a lot of questions on narrative stuff. We loved what we did for narrative in the last 3 games like that.
We did, yeah.
We'd like to do more of that. We're still in the planning phases. We're still not sure. We're still figuring out what that means and how that links up. But I think we'd like to do more of it. We felt like it was successful, and a lot of people really responded to it. So yeah, we're really kind of riding this line between still being competitive. Like we still want competition. It is a game.
It is a game, yeah.
But having story to it, having a narrative to it, it's having a reason to come back to the next video because you saw who played in the previous video and it had some stakes.
Now, a little counter to that, which is this is what's really tough about that. We love the fact that you guys had favorites. We love the fact that there's favorite armies that you want to see, and you want to see players back. Part of our championship series was bringing back favorite voted players, and that was really cool. On the flip side, we know that there's been questions about when is AdMech going to be on the channel, when is Grey Knights going to be on the channel, and so many factions that we haven't dived into yet.
We'd like to do them all.
We would. And so there's this tough balancing act because our production value is so high that, and
it takes so long to do these that every single one takes a lot of time, and so it takes a lot of effort. So we got to really think through which one.
But most of the battle reports you watched were actually filmed 2 months in advance of us releasing them.
Yeah.
So the fear is, we'll do something with Grey Knights or AdMech, and all of a sudden the new codex or something will come out and it's obsolete. But
the dream is that we want to eventually cover every army.
We do.
So AdMech, eventually, yes, we do want to do that. This is a battle. We would like to do all of them more. Like someone said, just pure corn list, for instance. Yes, we would like to do all of them, and we will eventually get there.
Quite a few asking how they can actually be on PlayOn.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
That was a lot of fun, and we've had people volunteer to come up from as far as Virginia.
That was crazy. Yeah, he wanted to drive from Virginia to here.
Yeah,
East
and
Coast to West Coast.
so we are on the west coast of Canada. We're pretty close to Vancouver, British Columbia. We're not secluded to just our local player pool. We do have a lot of fantastic characters that we do want to showcase eventually. But yeah, we are very open to having people come up to play on the channel. We really want to showcase beautifully painted armies that someone has put a lot of love, care, and detail into. We want great sportsmen. A lot of comments about our channel in particular has been the sportsmanship. So we're looking for people that genuinely just enjoy the game, and want to have a good time.
If you feel like you fall in that category, please send us a line. We are looking to try to create actual criteria and a list and things like that. And hopefully we'll put that out eventually. But right now, if you I think you can travel to us. And
please contact us. Don't just show up.
That
may not work. But please, we're curious. We're interested. We do want to showcase a lot of different players from wherever.
Okay, so I'm going to address another question from YouTube here. I'm going to address several actually because they're all pretty much the same thing. Calling out a couple people: Ben Hughes, PyClone 501, and Jim S. They're all talking about Kill Team when? Age of Sigmar when? Titanicus when? We got a lot of questions about other game systems, Kill Team especially. A lot of people ask for Kill Team. So the answer is maybe? Yes? You would know? We don't know. We're still planning. We're in between Season 1 and Season 2. We're planning stages right now. We want to. We would love to eventually get to a place where we can do all of them.
We purposely chose the name Play on Tabletop so that it was general enough for us to cover almost anything. And that's really what we wanted to do. We're not just Warhammer 40K fans, but we're fans of the tabletop gaming genre as a whole.
For instance, other game systems I love to play, which is another question. I love the Lord of the Rings game Workshop comes out. I love the Song of Ice and Fire games from Come On Games. And I love just generally board games of all sorts, but those two game systems really stand out to me.
Play Bolt Action, which is a World War game.
I've always wanted to try that.
It's a lot of fun. And my love, funny enough, is Malifaux from Weird Games. I absolutely love Malifaux. Unfortunately, because this has kind of taken up the rest of my spare time, I have not dived into 3rd edition yet, but if anyone out there wants to teach me 3rd edition, I am more than open to learning that game. I actually loved it.
Yeah, all of our team plays a wide variety of systems, and we'd love to explore all of them. Even maybe just a one-off, just to test it to see what the audience is. Obviously 40K has a large audience, so it's easier to get into. It's easier to get an audience.
And we all play it.
And we all play it, so they've got those pros to it. But yes, we would eventually love to do all of them.
And I think a lot of people have it right that I think our format would work really well for Kill Team.
Kill Team, yeah, I think I'm safe to say Kill Team is basically at the front runner right now of the possibilities of one of the next systems we'd like to branch out into. We're doing some experimenting right now to kind of see what would work.
We love the train density.
Oh yeah, I love dense terrain.
And just the ability to tell a bit of narrative story.
Oh yeah,
right,
and you can really focus
quarters.
on that squad of guys to make them gorgeous.
Which is another thing that we are working on. I know there's been a lot of comments about, can we get more close-ups of the models? Can we get more close-ups? We want to see more detail. Rupert's army is gorgeous. Can I see more?
Yeah.
We are trying to up our Instagram presence and kind of get a lot of those shots on there, but we are also trying to work it into our videos more so as well. William Matthews would like more pew-pew effects.
Okay, so that was something we did for the first time on the finale game. I tried it. I actually really liked putting it in. It was a lot of fun for me, and we got a lot of really good comments on it. I think there was only one negative one. So I think they may be here to stay. We'll definitely experiment more.
I think the negative one was that it was too fast.
Which, yeah, I can see that. One of the advantages I found is sometimes we try to encourage our players to say, okay, instead of I'm shooting that, to say the Astraeus is shooting the Riptide, like to help us out in editing and you guys are seeing, so it's very clear what's going on. But there was some instances in the last game where they're just excited about the game and going forward and didn't say it. They're just like, I'm shooting, and they roll dice. I'm like, I don't know how to communicate. This is shooting at this. So putting in the effects, I felt kind of helped a little bit to at least give a sense of what's shooting what, and not spend too much time on it.
It was a lot of fun as well as functional.
Yeah, so I think we'll do more experimenting with it, but I think that might be something we'd like to do more of going forward, because it also just adds more narrative to it, and it's kind of fun.
And it's just kind of fun. Again, this is a group of guys that came together to do something fun, to inspire people to play, and so while you guys are having a lot of fun watching the battle reports, just know that we're having a lot of fun making the battle reports.
Need more Tau. Also, you guys considering traveling to do battle reports. Joker of Social, I love you. Yes, more Tau. Always more Tau. Tau in every single battle report.
We've put a lot of effort into creating the studio that we kind of film in.
Yeah.
As you can see from our quality, we're very particular. We've got particular lighting setups. We've got very particular camera setups.
Doesn't travel too well.
It doesn't travel all that well. When we first shot ITC at West Coast, the plan was to do tournaments, and we were, I think, really excited about the prospect of kind of traveling together, hanging out, and kind of going to all these cities. But eventually, over time, our gear got prohibitive. Brent Proska, which is a guy that's local here in Maple Ridge, I think. I see him all the time. I know season 1 just ended, and so what is the hiatus until season 2 starts going to be?
Yeah, tomorrow, don't worry.
We are going to the Las Vegas Open. We're super excited to go to Las Vegas Open. That is going to take a lot of our focus and time over the month of January.
For sure.
Because it's at the end of January. When we come back from LVO, which is at the beginning of February, that's when we're really going to start to dig in and figure out what is next for us.
We're hoping by the end of February to start really filming at least some stuff. I don't know how much we'll get done by the end of February, but we're hoping to have some things in the can by the end of February.
Spoiler alert, the first things we film may not be 40K and 40M.
Dun, dun, dun. You heard it here first, folks. Is there any job positions open to work on this?
Oh boy.
Hey, you want to do some editing?
If you know editing, come on down. Please,
one of our biggest bottlenecks right now is sometimes having a queue of videos up, but just it takes 30 hours or more to edit a video.
I think there was a question somewhere in there that asks, what does it really take to kind of have a YouTube channel or a channel in general? This is self-funded. Yep. This is all volunteer work. And to be honest, we're having so much fun with it. And our mandate is to inspire people to play. And we want to inspire more people to play, which means putting out more content. So the first semblances of income, revenue that we're going to be seeing are going to go into systems or equipment or even people that will help us get more content out to everybody. So I think that's really how we're going to try to grow the channel.
Benjamin Verstegen, sorry about the pronunciation, but he asked, do you play with just the base rules or have any additional house rules for most games? We don't have a lot of house rules.
No.
We generally play rules as written, sometimes with the ITC rules about terrain and stuff like that. But generally we play the rules.
We allow the players to talk amongst themselves.
We encourage them to, in fact.
Yeah, exactly. And if somebody says, I deal with cocked dice this way, and the other player agrees, then that's how we'll deal with cocked dice for that particular game.
If you want to know a house rule that I've been toying with that I'd like to see, I would like to see a house rule where if you kill a unit and there's additional wounds left over, like say a unit has 2 wounds left over, you do 6 damage to it. I think each of those points of damage that are left over should add to the dice roll of whether it explodes. I'd like to see more explosions.
That's because you want to put more explosion effects into our videos.
That's true. That would be a lot of fun.
Kelvin Sun, you ask, will you do a Play On Tabletop internal championship? So
just our players, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's how I'm interpreting it. I'm interpreting it as...
It'd be kind of fun.
It would be.
It'd be smaller.
It would be smaller. It would be difficult because along with the 5 cameras that we mentioned before, that requires at least 2 operators.
Yeah.
And so another, I guess, segue into production again is we typically have a crew of 4 to 5 members simply working behind the scenes every shoot.
Yeah.
There was one instance where everyone was sick and couldn't make it, and Nick had to operate all 5 cameras.
I had to wrangle some other buddies outside of the team just to help for those other ones. Thank you, Ben and Andrew, if you're ever watching this. You guys are amazing.
Season 2, there's just so many armies we want to cover
that
we're probably going to prioritize just bringing in more people, showing off different armies.
Now that said, that's not to say that we won't have any of our players. Like, we potentially might have some of our players back. We still want to have regular people that we want to have some new players, but I think you'll see some familiar faces in season 2 as well.
Yeah.
So don't think it's going to be a completely brand new cast of characters.
No.
But I really liked it when Nick played Tau. That's because I'm a new 40k player and I started with Tau. Is it possible for Nick to play again using the Tau army? Oh, I love these questions. These are fantastic. I would like that. I don't know, Tak. Can I play Tau again?
I would personally like a rematch.
I would like a rematch. This time my Tau, although you beat me every time we play my Tau against your Ultramarines, so.
Well, I just got recently a new codex. So.
Yeah, you did. Let's hope Psychic Awakening gives me something.
Psychic for Tau?
I don't know. Psychic dampening drones? I don't know. Maybe they'll give me some...
You do know I don't play with any psychics, right? So.
All right, so Huangapalooza from YouTube asks, you guys should do a community poll each month so we can vote for our fan favorites to face off one another and make it so no 2 armies can get picked twice. It's a very cool idea.
It is.
It's
very
very
cool
similar
idea.
to what we did for the actual championship we did. Who knows? We might actually do something like that for season 2. It's definitely one of the thoughts that we're throwing around is how we can do more of that kind of style. So we tried to answer as many questions of the AMA as we could. Thank you for writing in. Those are awesome questions.
That was a lot of fun. Apologize that we're not more specific with some of our answers. We are still very much in a planning phase for next year.
Yeah, and we'll probably do another one in the future, and then we'll be able to give you some more concrete answers. And,
you'll know as soon as we know.
Yeah, as soon as we figure it out, we're hoping to lay out a bit more plans to let you guys have some knowledge, especially for our patrons. Those are probably one of the first people we want to let know about that. It was a lot of fun to do this AMA with you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any other questions, we'll try to answer them in the comments below. But thank you guys for supporting the first season. We couldn't have done it without you. We're blown away by your support.
Thank you very much.
It's been so much fun. And from all of us on the Play On team, I'm not going to do JT's outro because I can never remember it, but play on.
Play on.